Hi there, Rick here. I want to talk to you about trading. Um, I've been trading, for about 9 years now, off and on, and it's really quite interesting because uh, the markets, um, they they tell you about different businesses, like the biopharmaceutical companies out there. Like they some are developing um, new medicines for different sicknesses, and if the FDA approves of it, FDA is the Food, Drug, Alcohol kind of like department that uh, give licenses for companies to um, to make their medicine. Um, so sometimes when the FDA approves of a new drug that this biopharmaceutical company wants to develop, the stock shoots up, and it can be sometimes worth millions of dollars to the company. I remember when COVID happened, um, there were three stocks that that were really rallying. Like I've never seen that much. Actually, I think that was the first time. But you could see the ask price. Um, it was just flickering because there was the volume. There was so much volume going through the stock, and during that time, I made 5,000 US dollars on an overnight trade. Um, and then there was another time when uh, Donald Trump was in president. Um, I had bought 400 shares of Eastman Kodak, and overnight it shot up about 120%. I made about 5,000 US dollars on that overnight trade. Um, so I've taken some weekend courses on trading. I've read a lot of books on trading. I just finished this book, um, Make Money Trading Options. Okay, Michael Sincere. Um, it's a pretty good book on trading options. I've been trading options for about 3 years now. Not as much as stock, but um, it's really quite interesting learning how to trade options. I remember a person saying to me, um, had you traded options on that overnight trade, you would have made 7 times your money easy. Um, and yeah, after seeing how options work, I could see that happening. Um, it really is quite interesting. The people who want to learn it, of course, a business summary or a year end of a particular business, so you can see what their expenses are, whether or not the company is making money, losing money, um, and where their expenses are being spent at. Um, so it's really quite interesting. I would say that I've learned a lot, even about biopharmaceutical companies and the different sicknesses that are out there. Some of these companies, while they focus in on a particular area where there is an unmet medical need, and they base their company and uh, their aim at attacking that particular sickness, um, because it's kind of like an unmet medical need. And you need companies out there that are doing stuff like this. Everything from, you know, uh, to to cancer, to leukemia, to sleeping disorders, different types of blindness. Um, So it is really quite interesting. Like I've learned a lot about um, different types of uh, medical needs that people have. Um, when I first started trading, um, I was trading a marijuana stock. I think it was Aurora Cannabis, and I made well, the first 3 months I made 3,000 US dollars. Um, I actually like trading the penny stocks. Those are stocks under $5, and I still remember when I was going to the gym. Um, I was talking to Brandon Beavis, and I, I was talking to him about different stocks and things like that. And yeah, he never really said anything. Okay, he just kind of like sat there and listened. Okay, but I didn't know at the time, but he was actually trying to become a famous YouTuber. And so one day when I was surfing the internet, I clicked on his YouTube, not knowing that it was him. And then I said to myself, gee, this guy looks really familiar. And then I looked at the name below and I go, wow, that's Brandon. And well, he lives in Richmond and he even has a trading course. And I think he got about 10,000 subscribers. So now his face pops up a lot. The algorithm that sorts out YouTube videos, um, like for day trading, his videos will pop up a lot. So I thought that was kind of funny because I was talking to him about stocks at the gym, and he was just sitting down, resting between games, and he didn't say a word to me. Okay, he just listened. Okay, and like I didn't know at the time, but he was kind of like an expert at stocks already. And but some people, if they're a YouTuber, right? Um, sometimes they go to the gym, they just want to get away from their work. They don't want to talk about it, right? Um, but it was nice that he listened, and I think he was just trying to either he was just trying to get away from work, or he didn't want me to know that he was a YouTuber. But I think a lot of people, well, know that he's a YouTuber now just because uh, they've seen a lot of his YouTube videos, and so it was. I thought it was kind of funny. I was telling some people at the gym about it. That yeah, he's a famous YouTuber, and wow, He used to go to the gym that I go to, the Richmond Oval, and yeah, he was a very good basketball player too, and I remember him um, going up against a lot of other really good basketball players, and um, he could hold his ground against them, and even play better than them, outplay them, because he's about maybe 6'2", and he can play up by the rim. Like when he takes his shots, his hand is probably you know up to close by the rim. Um, but yeah, he's I remember he was really athletic, and wow, a lot of times too. Um, uh, it's well, when he was on the basketball court, I think he played with his cap on actually. So when you saw him, um, I think some guys didn't really take him too seriously because, or they didn't think he was that good of a player because he would wear his cap the other way. And but yeah, once when he started playing, you could actually see how good he was. Um, he used to play a lot with some of his friends at the gym. One of them was Albion, and Albion was quite good too. I forget what school he said he played for in Richmond, but I'm sure that well, I think he played guard, but uh, it was I'm sure that he was probably one of the top guards probably in Richmond when he played basketball during his time. Um, just because you know, just seeing him play, it was pretty amazing because you know I see him go up against guys that could you know that could dunk it no problem, and he could hold his ground against them and even outplay them in the 4-on-4 games. So I also uh, teach trading too, and I'll leave well my phone number in the text message down below. Um, but I used Questrade, and wow, I because I mainly trade the Nasdaq, um, the the U.S. exchange, and I just find that um, there's a lot more top companies in there, and their companies make a lot more highs. Um, like I'll tell you an example. Last week I was looking at this one particular stock. It was a company that sold snacks and books at universities in uh, in United States, and their stock had uh, it rose, I guess, maybe about 15% or something like that. But then it started to drop. And then over the next day, okay, it hit a bottom. It dropped maybe about 40 cents. And then uh, it didn't do anything for that, well, particular day after it rallied. But 2 days later, okay, it it jumped about another 40 cents. So in total, it jumped about 80 cents from its low. And had you bought the stock, okay, um, say 100 shares, okay, so it's if you bought during the low, okay, from about 2 days ago, it had risen about 80 cents. So off of one share, you would have made 80 cents. So for every 100 shares, you would have made $80. And that is pretty amazing because, look, the stock almost rose 100% in a matter of 2 days. But if you were actually watching the stock, uh, but also too, there's some people that jump on a stock when it actually jumps. They notice it increasing in percentage during that day. They'll buy it, you know, then when it's rallying, right? But the people who bought it earlier, like when it hit its low and then it started to climb back up a bit, and they noticed it, and they decide to buy some shares in it. Well, even had they bought 1,000 shares, you know, at its low, and then when it rose about another 25% that day when it was rallying, um, they would have made 80 cents on the dollar. Um, or they would have made 80 cents per share that they had in that company. And but just knowing how to find the right stocks to trade, um, there's what is it? Um, there's tools that you can use in the app to find them. Okay, because that's how I found some of the big stocks that have made me lots of money. Okay, um, I even remember when I was looking at AMD, I was telling my brother about it. The stock had fallen to I think $5 a share. Okay, I think the last time I looked, it was about $120 a share, but they made computer chips, okay? And their computer chips are actually used in, well, a lot of the computers these days that some of you see at Best Buy. Um, So they, well, like, I mean, I would say that, they had a very good business idea, and they were very good at what they do at making computer chips, and the company just rose higher and higher, and their revenues grew, and the company grew, and well, I can't see it going back to $5 anytime soon, just because everything seems a lot more expensive these days. So yeah, I just wanted to make this video on trading, because I think a lot of people don't realize, well, that I do trade, and it's something that I feel is a skill. It's something worth learning, right? Um, if there is something something big, like a new idea or something, some um, disruptive technology, um, because you already know how to trade, you can buy shares in the company, and you can grow with the company. And um, well, I've heard of some people, they've made um, so much money trading that it's they do it full time, and they left their full time job. Or there's even some that, well, they decided that's the career path that they wanted to trade to trade full time. But it's like a skill, like anything else. Like, you have to also justify, okay, I'm making this much money on a regular basis. Um, it's a lot more than my day job. I'm making this pretty consistently now for at least a few years. I'm thinking about, leaving my full-time job and doing something else. But that's a decision that you have to make on your own, right? Because it is a big decision. Because I also heard of some people, well, losing a lot of money in the stock market. You have to really know what you're doing, because I've heard of some people, well, they take a weekend course, and then they think they know everything about trading, and then they start trading within a few weeks or a month. Um, they lost all the money in their trading account, and sometimes it's 10,000 or 15,000. But it's taken a while for some of these people to have saved up that money, and to lose it in a short amount of time just because they didn't know what they were doing is not very good.